What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
What it do, babies? It's your partners. We back in the saddle again, and y'all know what day it is. It's Real Estate Friday, and yes, don't adjust your screen. Cliff and I look better than you. It's okay, except the finest of what you see. What's up, Cliff, baby? How you doing, big time? What's
Hey,
up, baby?
doing
All the
good.
people.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
sir,
doing
man.
good, boy. Doing good, man. Another good day, another Friday, end of the week. Giving the people some more information, man. Doing good.
Let's get it, man. Well, man, number one, I gotta ask the question: did we get the bag?
Always getting that bag, boy. Just got another check today. We doing good.
We got that bag, baby. I got one coming later today, too, baby. Mine is a cash flow bag. Don't shut us down,
Oh
baby.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. It's all good, baby. We're gonna jump right in this thing, guys. Man, Cliff, man, if we could, man, we do this every single week, man. Let's walk into the current market analysis. For those that are the first time that actually come into our real estate live training, welcome. Subscribe to the channel because it's your partners. Yes, yeah, it is. And this is a license appraiser that's about to go into description of what the current market analysis is, as well as myself as a real estate developer and financier as well. We're on the same squad, guys, but every week we go through the current market. So, Cliff, man, what are you seeing in the market, man? How do people, what's going on?
Man, the market is still in pullback,
Mm,
and it's starting to go into a strong pullback now. We're getting
mm.
into it. I think this morning Zillow is firing 5% of their workforce.
What?
Yeah. Zillow's fired 5% of the workforce. Sprout Mortgage, I think they're basically doing an entire closure of certain departments. There is the refinance market is gone. Nobody's
Wow.
refinancing. There is nobody refinancing. Um, and purchases are down. I think we was just talking about almost 30%, and it's still going. So it's not 30% and stopping. It's down 30%, headed to 40. So
Jeez.
the market
Yeah.
is the Fed is killing the market.
Man, guys. And that Cliff, why is that, man? The pullback from sales. Why do you think there's been a pullback from sales?
Interest rate.
Ah, right
They
now
doubled the interest rate.
I think it's 7.08 right now. Is the market right now 7.08? It's the highest in 20 years.
Right. And this is before they're about to raise interest rates again, 0.75 next week, is what they thinking. Or I think maybe 2 weeks, but so they're gonna raise it again. So this is man, the market will not come back until start reducing the Fed rate. Until they actually do a reduction or a cut, we're gonna stay in limbo for a minute. So I don't know. It could be a year, 2 years before they do that.
Yeah, man. Because what I'm seeing, Cliff, is the raising of the rates is not even doing anything at all to curtail any of the inflation. It's not. I told everybody I believe that we're going to get into the double digits areas. I'm saying 13, 14, 15%. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm seeing that actually go to. That's my opinion. Because there's so much excess cash in the market right now, they have to burn that out, and raising up 0.75 basis points is doing nothing at all. Would you agree, Cliff?
Is what they're trying to do is cut all inflation, but the interest rates are only affecting certain markets.
Yes.
Other markets like food, and they ain't really touching food.
I
Food's
know.
still high.
Still high.
Milk, food, cheese, all that. It's still high. Now it's the auto and the housing. Those markets are getting killed.
Yeah.
So they using one tool, but it ain't hitting everything the same.
Guys, he's actually right. It's not hitting anything insane at all, guys. So it's just, man, creativity right now is really the new currency. The more creative you can be, the better deal you can actually cut, guys. And so That's our kind of our weekly assessment of what's going on in the market, guys. I believe it's going to get worse, and really in those major areas, those mid-tier town areas. I think you kind of seen a little bit of the bottom as well in those areas, but those major areas, I don't think you've seen the bottom yet. You have not seen it yet, guys. This is my opinion. But anyways, man, guys, today, guys, is going to be a very interesting discussion. And me and Cliff talk about this subject a lot when it comes to our real estate development and finance investments that we actually do. And Cliff, man, we've been asked to do it, brothers. We got to go into it, man. How to make money in, I think, the gold standard in new construction investing, Cliff, man. So, bruh, if you could, for those that are novices, what is new construction? What is that?
Is basically building from the lot up, right? When you just have a piece of land and uh, you're building a house or building a warehouse or something on top of that land.
Hmm.
They called
And
it.
does that go ahead?
I was gonna say appraisers call that an improvement.
Exactly. Now, does that include a term I'm gonna use called soft costs, which is the land development, or are you just talking about once the lot is ready to be built on, building the edifice up? Which one are you talking about?
Oh no, you got to include the soft costs because you're gonna have to
Mm,
grade the land and you're gonna have to prep the
mm,
land in order for you to start building. And that requires like a soil test a lot of
yes.
times to make sure that you can even build on it. Working with the city, working with the county to make sure you got water and electricity and all that you can connect to it, gas. So yeah, there's a lot of soft costs involved.
There's a lot of soft costs. I'm glad you went into the city and then permanent to the nature because that's the next question. The next question is, what are the most important points to focus on in the beginning of the new construction process, man? What do you think are the most important points?
Real, I mean, so to me, it's like 2 points, right? And this is true with almost anything, but uh, what's it cost to build? What's it gonna be
Mhm.
worth when it's done? Right? It's that
So,
simple.
so you're talking about the cost of goods, COGS, and that includes the soft costs, as
Right.
well as the after build, after repair value of those properties post build. Correct?
Right. Exactly.
Gotcha. I would say what Cliff said was spot on when it comes to COGS and after repair value or after build value of those properties. I would say um, having a team in place as well.
Right.
If you have a terrible general contractor who has terrible subs, or a terrible architect or a terrible engineer, okay, those people are actually needed when it comes to new construction. The project is going to be terrible because you have to present this to the city slash county. There's a significant permitting process in the new construction scenario. It's going to be different whether you use city or county. It's going to be totally different. And we'll go into that here in a second as well. But I would say having a team in place that can produce what you need to present to the city slash county a finished product from soft costs to bidding the edifice meaning the house, is what I would say. You agree, Cliff?
Right. Exactly. That's pretty much everything you said, man. It's not, just making sure you got all those numbers and everything situated, and that's what we for, so that we've seen it before. We could take a look at it and be able to provide you that knowledge of understanding what you need and what you may be missing.
Exactly. And this is when mentorship comes in. So if you don't know what you're doing new construction, but you have a good deal, okay, you may want to bring in someone that actually has experience in this new construction space. Because if you don't, this is totally different than renovation. Totally different.
Oh yeah.
Because you now that's a good place to kind of go in. How is new construction different than a renovation project?
So like a renovation, the number one thing with renovations is you don't know everything.
Yes.
We don't know what's behind a wall. We don't know, certain things once we get into it. The plumbing, certain things which you look at first when you're doing a bid. Once you
Mhm.
get into the project, you realize you may have to fix.
Yes.
because with renovations, what you don't understand is one issue can lead to three issues,
That's right.
and you didn't even think other than the one issue, and now you got three. But in new construction, you don't have any of those problems. Everything is
No.
brand new. So when they provide you a number to fix the property or to build the property, that's the number. There's no there's nothing else to worry about. It's simple. This is the number to build. That's it.
Guys, that's realistically it. That's what I would. That's how it's different than renovations. Is as you said before, new construction, you know what the cost is. Renovation, there's a lot of surprises that go into renovation. Don't get it twisted. There are some surprises from new construction, but that surprise normally comes in the ground because you can't really see what's in the ground. There may be stone
Right.
underneath the ground as well. You got to get the soil tested as well. Also, you may be buying a property that's in a flood zone. Now you're involved with FEMA as well, and so that's another barrier you got to dive into as well. So that's kind of the beginning portion of it. Now let's go into Cliff real quickly. How should you work with the city and county in this process?
Yeah. So I mean, really, first thing you want to know is what can you build.
Mm,
So you want to go to the city and find out, are there any zoning regulations? Can you build on this a house, or can you build a duplex, a fourplex, eightplex? What they gonna
the
let you do
observation.
so
Yeah,
that you can maximize that land as much as possible. And that's
that's
the whole
right.
goal, right? Because you're trying to get the highest after repair value once you finish the building. Once you finish actually constructing the building, what's it going to be worth? So you want to figure that out from the city and county, and then uh, any fees that they may have. Sometimes they'll have for to connect the water or connect
Yep.
the electricity. They may have
Yep.
fees associated with that. You've got to get all that information up front before you start building, and so you can get those costs.
Also, this is when you actually work well with your engineer and architect. Typically, what you have to do when it comes to new construction, you're going to have to have the drawings ready to go, the engineering portion ready to go as well. Also, these are licensed people. Okay, these are licensed people. All right. You're gonna have to have measurements when it comes to electrical and plumbing as well. You have to have a site map been done as well. Also, that's normally drawn in a CAD scenario. That's going to be for your architect as well. You got to take all these documents and then go to the city and present your case to the city. Most cities have to vote on if they want to approve this project or not. There's a voting process normally when it comes to new construction. That's why when you kind of see elections coming on, prop this or vote for this, they're talking about some type of building project. Most likely, it depends on what's in that proposition. Okay, now the county may be a little different. Now, what comes to the city is law enforcement, utilities, electrical outlets, um, broadband as well, or fiber. When it comes to internet, there's a lot of perks you get for involving the city in. On the county side, you can still get those different things, but the county may be not as stringent when it comes to permitting processing. That's the difference between the city and county. The city gives you a little bit more services than the county does, but the county is a less strenuous type of process. Would you agree, Cliff?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. They have less ownership
Yeah.
over the land than the city does.
That's called annexation. Okay, that's another word. Learn those words. Annexation. This is when you actually have, going back to that initial point, a good attorney that's licensed in real estate that has an understanding of building processes. Okay, a good licensed attorney, real estate purposes. Okay, uh, and here's the last portion, guys. Cliff, in your opinion, what are the top three things that investors should be focused on when entertaining or beginning the new construction process?
So I mean, it's really what we already kind of mentioned. What
Sure.
building, right? What are the costs to build?
Yeah.
What's it going to be worth?
Mm.
And the last piece is for me is hassle. How much of a hassle is it to go through the
Yeah.
city? Is it a city I'm willing to deal with all that? Is it a hassle to go through Is it hard to find contractors, and then that's a hassle? Is it difficult to work with the county, like we're saying? Are those things slowing me down when I'm trying to actually get those things, get the project completed? Because now we start getting in the time thing. It's getting in a time
Yeah,
crunch. So we kind
yeah.
of we weigh all those different things to see, does this make sense? But that's what I'm looking at.
I agree. I would add to that portion as well. A good team. Make sure you
Yeah.
have a good team
Right. Yeah.
because if the GC is terrible, architect's terrible, on down the line, you'll never get it done as well. And it really begin. I said the first person you should hire on your team should be an attorney, because
Oh
he's
yeah.
going to draft agreements between you and the general contractor. It needs to be very specific because, as Cliff knows, Cliff, what is the most least regulated section in real estate?
Wow. Construction.
So if
And
that's the
then
case, Cliff, will there be a lot of issues that come up in construction because of the less regulation?
oh yeah, yeah, all
Guys,
day.
go ahead, Cliff.
Oh no, I'm saying it's all day. No, when you get into construction, they're not going to take responsibility for anything. It's just how it is. You have to already be prepared that that's how they are going to respond.
Exactly. And that's what they do. And a lot of these guys don't have license. Now the general contractor has to have a license with the state. That's fine. But those subs don't. Those subs don't. And that's where the issue comes in. The subs and the GC working together to ensure that you have a good, productive building process. Okay. I would also say another thing is, if you cannot, I would say, if you have a big project, 61 units, 30 plus units, things of that nature, I will begin with 1 or 2 units first, build it, repeat that, build it, repeat that. And as you begin to kind of fine tune with your team, begin to increase that amount, because you have more cash coming in. Number one. Number two, you've perfected your process. Number three, it's an easier transition to those next ones. You agree, Cliff?
Exactly. And also making sure that the contractor, the GC, is paying the subs. You can even look this up on YouTube. I saw it this week. I'm talking about a multi-million-dollar hotel, like a $50 million hotel in San Francisco,
Hmm.
is half renovated, and the contractors, the subs, are outside protesting because the GC did not pay them for
Yes.
all the work they did. This is a $50 million hotel in San Francisco. You don't think that's gonna happen to your project? It, this
I,
happens all the time.
now I see why. I don't mean to go political. Now I see why when it comes to in the real estate space, President Trump would do what he would do when it come to these general contractors, now, because they could, not all of them. Some of them could be crooks, man.
Oh yeah,
I mean, so many games, bro, and there's nobody for them to actually report into. They can literally put a lien on your property, literally, and nothing you can do about it.
right.
Nothing. That happened to us when that happened to us a couple times. Just put a lien on the property, and then do none of the work. Walk away from the project. Okay, this is a renovation project. Walk from the project. We call them out. We had to fly to another state to see what's going on. This is Florida. They just vanished all of a sudden, just gone. All of a sudden, there's a lien on the property now, and they walked away from the project. They did. Yeah, you better make sure you interview people the right way, and make sure that these contracts are ironed out. You can never fully protect yourself from that, but you can make it unappealing for them to even try to do anything against you. That is the play right there.
Yeah.
It should be, don't mess with Cliff and Liddell. They're gonna kill you.
Hey, because we already know that they're gonna try to take the GC didn't pay us. It's your problem. Well, hold up. See, that's why it's
It's a good
better.
one.
I'm starting to realize it's better to go a different direction. And we go into depth into this in our class, to where we kind of break
Yeah.
down how to avoid these problems, to where you can understand how to do the project in a way to where you can kind of avoid these issues. So that's why we kind of give you all the behind the scenes once we really dive deep into it. Right now, we've taken like 20, 30 minutes. We're gonna take a couple hours and dive real deep into it on some of
Oh,
the other stuff.
I'm glad Cliff went there to pivot real quickly because we began a lot of questions. And forgive us, guys, we had planned on rolling out the training course earlier. Okay, we really did. But as we were kind of looking at what was on the market as far as courses wise, we began to say, okay, wait a minute, we can give the people a little bit more. Um, and realistically, when it comes to the fix and flip scenario, which Cliff is going to, Cliff, tell people, man, what you're going to be going into. We talking about he's going in, guys. So he's re-recording his entire course and including spreadsheets, scripts. I mean, you getting everything. So Cliff, let people know what you're redoing so they can know what's going on.
So the original video I had was like, it's very basic and it's for beginners. What I've decided to do is expand it
Mhm.
uh and add more information in there. We basically gonna
Mhm.
just go through it with y'all, from raising capital to how you run a project, to how do you look at parts from, when you're going through a bathroom, how you find a designer, which we already have a designer that we use, how you find one, how do you decide if you need to stage a property or not, how do you know if the foundation's good or not, how you look at a roof, how you look at interior walls to determine it and see what's behind it. I'm just rattling off stuff, some basic things, but we're gonna go into it, and I'm gonna go really deep into it so y'all really know, so you can get an idea of what we're really talking about. And by the idea being, after you get done with this course, ain't nothing left. You have all the information. Now it's about application and guidance.
Let me ask you guys this question. What if you had somebody that can walk you through Home Depot or Lowe's, go down every aisle and begin to price out parts for your project? What if someone actually could do, what if someone could actually do that with you? That's what Cliff is doing. Literally going to Home Depot and saying, this is the aisle that we own, guys. Look at this here. This is a sheetrock. Look at the different pricing here. Okay. And you walk through, this is the type of sheetrock you want. And he's walking through the whole process with you so that you can just press play and follow what he's saying the whole time. It's like he's there with you. That's what you want. Now, for me, for the subject to proportion, that's done. The seller finance portion will be done this week. So with that being stated, what I am going to do is we're going to be launching the seller finance portion of the course and the substitute portion of the course that'll be out Tuesday afternoon, latest Wednesday morning. Okay, we're going to begin with those two. Cliff should have his videos done by next week, and then we'll update it as well. Jason, when it comes to the power team, his will be done by mid next week as well. Also, he wanted to go a little bit more deeper into the responsibilities, because as the market is changing, whenever the market is changing, the market is becoming a little bit more challenging. So therefore, you have to get a little more creative. When you have to get a little more creative, that has to be a higher skill level that has to be brought to the table. This is what we're kind of preparing you guys for. So thank you guys for your patience. We want to make sure that we're not giving you guys some bubblegum popcorn course. This is not what we're going to do, okay? We're going to give y'all the real deal Holyfield. And also, guys, we're setting up a VIP community to where every other week, we'll have a 1 to 2 hour VIP phone call, webinar. You can bring your transactions, your deals. We can walk through them, help you structure them, and we'll fund those transactions as well. Think about it. What if you could bring your deal to experts, or those that have been doing this already, and they can help you structure it, help you maximize your return on investment as you acquire while you're renovating, if it's a renovation project, and at the exit or refinance, but also give you the money too. That's Cliff, have you ever had that before?
No.
So we got to make sure that we do it right up front, so that it's not a bubblegum popcorn type of scenario, guys. Thank you again for your patience, guys. I've been getting a lot of DMs, a lot of messages about the course, guys. Rock with you again. Thank you so much for your patience. We want to make sure that it is set up robustly for you guys so that you guys don't have any questions at all. You can say, okay, you know what? this makes more sense. That makes sense, guys. And every 3 to 6 months, we're going to be updating the course. As the market changes, we got to change too. So that's all I had, Cliff, man. You want to add anything else, man, before we end everything?
Nah, that's it. Just stay with it. And the courses will be available to help y'all try to get through it. Because I'm telling you, the hardest one, Dale, what's the hardest project to do? Which of all the ones you did, which one was probably the hardest? I don't know about for you, but for me, first one. When I did first one, 2 was way easier. 3 got easier. 4, it's always the first one, people. It's always that first one that's difficult.
It is. And think about it, guys. Yes, we know what we're doing, but at the exact same time, when I have a problem, I actually have somebody I go to Cliff, man. Take a look at this appraisal, man. Does this make some sense? Man, we got this scope of work, man. To me, it looks a little low or a little high, man. What do you think? And we'll walk through it. We don't know. We know a lot, but we also actually have wise counsel around us at all times so that we know exactly what's going on from a legality standpoint, an execution standpoint when it comes to building and / renovations, and also exiting when it comes to refinance or selling. Realistic, guys, we're buying and holding all of our stuff because it doesn't make no sense. Cliff said it before up front. Now what? There's a significant pullback, right, Cliff?
Right.
So, well, man, that's all I have for today, Cliff. But you want to say anything else, man, before we end everything, bro?
Nah, that's it, man. Just check it out. We're gonna have it up and running pretty soon. So just take a look once we get it done.
Yes, sir, guys. But guys, you know how to say it every time. Before you leave, and while you can, take that picture for your mama now. Now holla at your partner. All right, y'all have a good one.
Peace.
God give thanks. Bless God give thanks. Bless God give thanks. Bless God give